affordability, and ample parking. With a knowledgeable funeral director and compassionate staff, the Gates family and the Gates Funeral Home and Crematory are ready to assist you.
Your local station, WMVS.
The views and opinions presented by the host, guests, or callers on this program do not necessarily represent the positions of WMBS Radio.
All right, welcome to Hot Topics on this Friday with Kendall and TJ today, and we are brought to you by
Tire Man's Auto Garage, K2 Engineering, Coldwell Banker, Laurel Ridge Realty, Chestnut Ridge Counseling, Hicks and Buzz Drugstore, Red Rooster Dumpster and Hauling, Gary's Auto Sales, and Bright Stripe Seal Coating and Line Striping. The WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line, 724-438-4593. We do have some guests today, so we're not going to, maybe more toward the end of the second half, we'll have open conversation, TJ. Before we get to Andrea, who's going to be here with from Crime Victim Center, well, she is here, we have a very special guest here right now.
We do.
Yes, we do, TJ.
The Pawpaw Lady is here.
Yes. This is her. So for the listening audience, you can tune in because, or go check on our WMBS Facebook page. We are live streaming. And here she is. This is proof of life. We have Pawpaw Lady. I was so excited the other day when TJ sent me a message and said that Pawpaw Lady had called Doreen to let her know she would be here. And I feel like, you talk to someone on the phone for years and you don't know what they look like. And so it's so nice to meet you. And she brought us lots of goodies. She brought us to tell us, Pawpaw Lady, why do you even call yourself Pawpaw Lady?
Okay, because I like pawpaws, and when you call in, you don't always want to say what your name is. So you kind of get a pseudonym for yourself, and since I like pawpaws and cook them and eat them and share them and everything, I said, hey, Pawpaw Lady.
That's a good one.
So what is a pawpaw for everybody that they don't know?
Okay, pawpaw is actually North America's largest native edible tree fruit.
Okay.
And I got some here, and these are not big ones, but that's a pawpaw.
Well, they're kind of like the size of like a kiwi in a way.
And you do not eat the skin. You do not eat the seeds. You eat the yellow fleshy part inside.
Do you know what kind of nutrients are inside? I bet you do.
They have antioxidants, magnesium, potassium, amino acids, and vitamin C.
Wow.
All the things we need, TJ.
You're right.
And what else did you bring us, Pawpaw?
I brought some pawpaw applesauce. You cannot home can pawpaws by themselves. They are too base. You need an acidic base. So I make them with apples or pear sauce. I make applesauce or pear sauce, and then I put the pawpaw in that and cook it and then can it, and it'll be stable.
And I'm sampling the pawpaw bread. I think we've had this before, I want to say, because it's like a little bit like a banana bread.
Right, it is. A pawpaw tastes like a cross between a banana and a pineapple, depending on where I pick them. Like these ones I have here left my car smelling like pineapples.
Okay. So, where do you get, like, how did you start doing this?
A friend of mine when I worked at the prison, he said, I know where there's some pawpaws that grow in Dunbar. So
Had
he
you had
took
one
me
before
there.
that? Had you had one before that?
Yeah, and I'm like, but I didn't know where they grew around here. So he showed me where they were, and it is not a place you want to go without a friend on your hip.
Why?
It's just a wild area, let's say.
Okay.
In more ways than one.
That's coming from someone who worked in the prison. Yeah. And a former Marine, Pawpaw Lady.
But these ones come from Carmichael's. There's a person I know out in Carmichael's who has a field, and next to the field are these pawpaw trees, and he never knew what to do with them. So a friend of mine introduced me to him, and he said I could have all the pawpaws I want as long as I bring him some pawpaw applesauce.
Okay.
So I've taken him pawpaw applesauce and pawpaw jelly, and took him some pawpaw bread yesterday. I went and picked some, took my daughter out there.
And Pawpaw Lady, we know you hunt. I mean, you do all things outdoors, but she also writes books. And she's given me 3 of these, and and what I love about it, one is Carol's Christmas Request, Luke Faces the Truth, and this is about, and then we have Macy Comes to Terms. Now, how did you start doing this?
When I was a teenager, I would dabble at riding.
Okay.
And I always had, like, the Carol's Christmas Request. Ever since I was younger, I had that story in my mind. And so when I got close to retiring from the prison, I started putting my efforts into writing that specific novel.
And then, do you have any more in the works?
I don't have any in the works right now because it's not profitable.
Oh, yeah. If anybody was interested in your books, how can they contact you, or they could always call the station and we can get in touch with you.
Yeah, you can get them on Amazon.
Oh, okay.
You can order them through Barnes and Nobles. They have them on ebook.
Oh,
Awesome.
nice.
So you can get them through there also.
And now you're a radio star. You have
Well,
a lot.
not quite a radio star, but
But it's what else did you want to share with us?
a
Anything
couple
about-
things about the pawpaws. George Washington and Thomas Jefferson, that was their favorite fruit.
Okay.
And in September of 1806, Lewis and Clark had depleted their supplies, and they found pawpaws. And so they subsisted off of pawpaws for a while until they were able to get resupplied.
And you could find these in every state, or you don't?
No, I have
No?
a
There's a
map
list.
here.
Okay.
They have to have cold winters
Okay.
and warm, damp summers. So I thought I had a map. I don't have a map.
So because we didn't have very much rain the past few months, does that make a difference?
Yes,
in the
they're
pawpaw?
not as big. I mean, I've gotten some really big ones, but yesterday when I went to my favorite spot to get them, they were mostly golf ball size. They weren't really big ones. And the bigger they are, the more seeds they have.
So how big can they get then?
I've seen that. The biggest one was about that big.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So not much bigger than.
But this
Like
is
an
average.
Oh,
That's
and
average.
it's like the size of a kiwi,
Yeah.
I'd say. But yeah. So what is so special about the how do you eat the? Would you put this on the bread? The pawpaw applesauce.
You could put the pawpaw applesauce on the bread. You could eat plain. In fact, when I give a jar of it to friends, like I gave you this jar of friends, it comes with the warning: once you start eating it, you won't stop until it's gone.
Okay. I'm very excited to try it.
Or that's why I brought this, so you guys can try it.
And we have some here for the station too. So whoever's here listening, and Doreen's probably on her way back from her break, so everybody can try some. And so then once. What did you say? And if you did, I'm sorry. What is pawpaw season?
They get ripe right about now, and depending on where they are, they might be around till like the first week of October. But they do not store well. They do not ship well. So that's why you cannot go into Giant Eagle and find pawpaws on the shelf.
And then can you freeze this too? Do you ever freeze your applesauce?
You can freeze the applesauce. I just home can it because it can sit on the shelf for as long as I want it to sit on the shelf, and it's available.
But like you said, it doesn't last very long.
Right, but the pulp itself, when I pulp these out, you can actually put it in Ziploc baggies and freeze it.
Okay. So this
Very
is
interesting.
Yeah,
It
and
is.
I felt so badly because I knew that Bill would want to
Yeah.
be here for this, but Bill is out this Friday. He'll be returning back next week. But I told him, I said, I'm so sad you can't be here because Pawpaw Lady's coming on, and he's bummed. But we're definitely going to share some with him and the Pawpaws. And Pawpaw Lady, is so nice to meet you in person. And I never thought in a million years you'd actually come on the show.
I
so
agree.
this is a moment in time. And thank you for the books, and just thank you for being a friend of the show overall.
Thanks, Pawpaw
I
Lady.
hope you enjoy the books and the pawpaws and everything else. And
We will, for sure. TJ, we'll take a quick break, and then we'll come back with Andrea from Fayette County Crime Victim Center.
All right, this is Hot Topics on a Friday here on WMBS.
John Clinton with Dominic Carbone from your 7-time President's Award-winning Ford of Uniontown. Dom, let's get down to business. I hear we're having a big sale on F-150s.
Now that, JC, is an understatement. Check this out. We are taking up to $7,000 off MSRP on 2025 F-150 XL and XLT models, and you get these low interest rates: 3.9 for 60 months, 4.9 for 72, and 5.9 for 84. And yes, guys, you get both savings and the low interest rate. That's not a steal, that's a deal. John, we are making aggressive offers on all new inventory, so don't miss out. Stop, click, or call and get all the details.
Dom, along with Ford Motor Company, we are taking part in the largest dealer food drive in the world. So check this out. We're going to have a brand new F-150 in the showroom, and we're asking our customers and friends of the store to drop off all non-perishable food items to help us take part in the global month of caring. The food drive runs from the 15th to the 25th of September. Thank you in advance for your generosity. That's 40 Uniontown on the hill across from Applebee's or 40uniontown.com. Offer includes all applicable incentives, must finance with Ford Motor Credit, not all buyers will
Halloween decorations are appearing, and before you know it, cold weather and snow. Be ready, be safe. Tireman's Auto Garage has the lowest prices in town on new and used tires with ACIMA and Snap leasing available. Voted best in Fayette for tires, they are also top automotive specialists for any car, any repair offering diagnostic service, alignments, oil changes, state inspections, brakes and rotors, batteries, and more. See Joe and Kim at Tireman's Auto Garage, Mill Street in Uniontown. Call 724-425-9606.
Heat on the fritz? Did your AC stop working? Your pipes backed up? Did your lights go out? Well, for all your heating, air conditioning, electric, and plumbing emergencies, CHIPS Residential Services is here for you. Located right in Uniontown and offering 24-hour emergency service, let the experts at CHIPS help you through all your emergency needs as well as installation and regular service. Call 724-366-8046 to get the help you need today. Your hometown team of technicians, CHIPS Residential Services.
439-2323.
For 24-hour emergency service, call us when you need. We're Fayette's Heating and Air Conditioning,
Your service company.
When it's sweltering outside, you'll be cool inside with central air conditioning from Bryant, the people that know cool. And it's easy to have a central air conditioning system installed in your home. Simply call on your Bryant dealer, Fayette Heating and Air Conditioning, located near the Laurel Mall on Route 119, north of Uniontown. The phone number is 439-2323. Let Fayette Heating and Air Conditioning rescue you from the sticky, humid summer weather. Remember that number for Fayette Heating and Air Conditioning, your Bryant dealer, 439-2323.
Call Fayette Heating and Air Conditioning, 439-2323. 439-2323. 439-2323. 439.
Your mental health is your most valuable asset. With 55 years of experience serving Western Pennsylvania, Chestnut Ridge Counseling Services is ready and able to assist you with all of your mental health needs. Offering over 20 specialized treatments, open access, and just-in-time scheduling means that you receive the treatment you need in a time-conscious fashion. Chestnut Ridge Counseling now offers telehealth, mental health urgent care with immediate access to a mental health professional with no appointment necessary. Call 724-437-0729. That's 724-437-0729 for mental health urgent care at Chestnut Ridge Counseling. Outpatient care options include individual, group, and family therapies, mental health and psychiatric evaluations, and medication services. Outpatient care and services are also available for patients under the age of 18, geared towards youth-centric problems and concerns. Take control of your mental health care with Chestnut Ridge Counseling Services. Call 724-437-0729 to set up an appointment or speak immediately with a mental health professional.
WMBS.
All right, welcome back to Hot Topics on this Friday. That was fun with Pawpaw Lady, wasn't it, Kendall?
Yes, it was. It really was. And we want to give a big shout out once again to Pawpaw Lady. It was so nice to see her in person. And I'm sorry Bill couldn't be here, but she left us some treats here for the station. And yeah, she's been a friend of the show for a long time. And
she has been.
It's really nice to see her in person. And she's just, she's a special lady. We are here with Andrea. Again, 724-438-4593, the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line. We're going to talk with Andrea right now, so we're not going to be taking calls, but somewhere down the line here before the end of the show, I'm sure we'll open up the phone lines. And one more thing I want to say about Pawpaw Lady is, and it's so nice to have you here again, Andrea, and we have a guest in the second half, which is another surprise, and it's not Teddy, though. I don't want to, because I don't want to disappoint anybody if it's not Teddy, but it was nice to have a show planned today where we have guests and we're talking about, what we're going to talk about with Andrea isn't good news, but it's nice to get away from the heaviness that we've been talking about for weeks and weeks now here on the show. And so Pawpaw Lady was a great way to open up the show and to have something to smile about. Andrea, welcome back.
Thank you for having me.
We are here you have the floor, Andrea, and of course we'll probably ask questions, but there's some concerns on the
Yes.
state and now federal level with the budget.
Right.
And that is directly impacting an organization here in our county that is so important and providing services that I have myself once used. And so I can say, and I always say when it comes to keeping it local, if you have money to donate, if you have an interest in giving back to the community, Crime Victim Center is one that really could use it. So, Andrea, welcome.
Thank you. And following Pawpaw Lady is a really hard act to follow.
You got to meet
I know,
Pawpaw
I got
Lady.
to meet her.
I didn't know
yes.
she existed until today.
Right. And so it is. It's refreshing to be able to have moments in time where you're able to have brighter moments, and I apologize because what we need to talk about I feel is very important. I didn't bring you anything.
But you're bringing us important information.
Yeah, I want to try to just educate the community a little bit, and just so that everybody in the community sort of understands what happens when the budget is not passed on a state level. And then now, October 1st, we're looking at a federal budget. And I know these are conversations that's been talked about, but I think it's important for the community to know just who it all does impact. So like with our organization, we are a nonprofit organization, and we are in our 50th year, and Kendall, we had the extreme honor of having Kendall come and host our 50th celebration that we had in April. So at that point in time, we thought, oh, things are good. This is going to be a wonderful year, 50 years. Moving ahead, we want to be here for another 50, providing services to victims of crime. And that's, unfortunate that we have what we have in our community, as well as, these have been heavy topics here the last several weeks with some things that have occurred in our community, and which I think brings even more the importance of people to know that what the resources are available in our community. And so with the state budget impasse, that is half of our funding.
Wow.
Completely half. We receive Department of Health Services grants, and that is half of our funding right now. So since July 1st, we have been working solely under utilizing federal funding that we receive. Now, with the federal budget, possibly with an impasse there come October 1st, that's the other half of our money.
So what happens?
And, we have to look at provisions as far as layoffs, reduction of hours, could be complete closure at times. I've been in this situation. I've been in victim services for over 30 years now. 25 of those have been working with the Crime Victim Center. This is not my first go-round with budget impasses. We know we go through this.
Yeah.
I've only been through a couple incidences where they've been 5 months without budgets, where we were laid off. We had reduction of hours. And so those are things that I have been sort of not used to, but have been through. And now I'm the director. I was a staff person. Now I'm the executive director. And you process it differently, because now I'm not only responsible for myself, but there's 7 other employees at our organization. We at one time had 12. And through cuts in funding through the years, when we have a staff person that would leave, we just would not replace that individual because we would not have the money to sustain them.
But you were certainly gaining more victims and more victims. Your victim list isn't reducing, but your money is.
So we just sort of allocated staff more responsibilities and not receiving any pay increases. We have with the DHS funding that we are actually having issues with right now. We were only asking our state coalition is Pennsylvania Coalition Against Rape. They have just rebranded, so they are Pennsylvania Coalition to Advance Respect. However, that entity that we are under, our budget, we have asked for $8 million in our budget. We have had level funding for the last 5 years, so we have not received, our state coalition has not received an increase in over 5 years. So that was our simple ask, was just please give us, we need $8 million to sustain. We have 48 sexual assault sexual assault centers across Pennsylvania. Now, a lot of those centers that are in the north, like rural region up north, they are one agency that covers 3 different counties, and there's several of them. So, they are working even more thinly than even us. So, like our organization, we have 8 staff. We just found out yesterday we had gotten an email that Mercer County, which is north of us, they laid their entire staff off. They are going to a part-time status, but they are only working half-time right now, part-time. We are hoping that they'll be able to receive some type of unemployment benefits, and but that was their entire agency now is in jeopardy, and they aren't the only ones. Our sister agency in Pittsburgh's Action Against Rape, which you think Allegheny County is this huge county and they get a lot of money, they laid off 4 staff. One was a therapist. So
this is since July?
This is since July.
Okay.
Yeah. So these are agencies that we're working with that are providing vital services and having to make decisions to lay staff off, cut positions, not fill positions because of the funding. First, the funding cuts, and now the fact that we don't even have a budget. So us not receiving any money is making it more and more difficult. And every day that we go without this budget being passed is a decision that I have to keep making. What do we do next? What do we do next? We were sort of hoping with the federal budget that, we can at least rely on that. We have been reaching out to all of our legislatures, and the word is that it's not looking good, that we're not even going to be able to pass a federal budget at this point. Then I have to have conversations with my board of directors and make decisions at that point. That's a hard thing to do. We work together. A lot of my staff, we've worked together for years, and you form friendships. You're almost like a family. You work together.
Especially the nature of services you're providing. There's the complexities and the layers to every case is unique, but just the magnitude of what people go through and what you're getting them through. You and your staff, it's a different vibe than what we are here, right? So it's even thicker.
Yeah, and if you think about it, some of the things that, like, we have counselors on staff, we have legal advocates, and then we have a prevention staff, and then administrative staff. But we all are trained to work within crisis situations. We do have a 24-hour hotline, so we all take turns working that hotline, and we all go to court. We all act as advocates. So in light of these recent situations, these recent cases, we're involved in those cases. So we are going to hear testimony. We're going to see evidence. We're going to be in those courtroom situations with family members or friends of the individuals, and having to be able to comfort them, but hear everything that is going on. And that's a daily basis for us. I mean, that's even put aside the recent events that Fayette County has had. Go back years and years and years. Any type of homicide case, any type of sexual assault case, any type of case that involves a victim, we never know how that individual is going to react. We might have the same type of crime with 2 different individuals as victims, and one they'll completely act and need different services. So we have to go through that process with them, and then we bring that back to the office, and then we have to process hearing and seeing all of that. So it's a mental burden on us as well. And
you lean on each other.
Right, exactly. That's why, so then it's very difficult when you're like, okay, well, what do we do? How do we sustain ourselves? How do we keep the doors open? Because, our first and most important thing is we have to be there for the victims in Fayette County. But then the second thought is, okay, well, we have to make sure that we're okay to be able to help them, and we have to be available to help them. And nobody wants to work for free. No. Nobody, and we've done that in the past.
Well, everybody else, it's very, it's well known that what you do for a living is never going to make you rich.
No,
right?
no.
So, and then to think that you might not be making anything at all, and so then what happens? So if you have if you have to close the doors, what would happen?
Well,
like what were
we
the victims?
we reached out to our state coalition. We had a meeting last week. The executive directors from all over the 48 centers. We asked those questions. We were like, what happens when you can't pay the bills and your staff is just like, I'm not coming to work if I don't get paid, So we were told we are under contract through DHS. Okay, we have contracted regulations that we are to provide the services that we currently provide. Okay, we were told that if we do not continue to provide those services somehow, some way, DHS can come in and completely pull our contracts, which then they could close our doors and award those contracts to someone else. So another entity could come in and say, we can do that job, and we're going to apply for that funding, and DHS could give them that funding because they pulled it from us because we were not able to meet our obligations with the contract.
Even though you can't meet your obligations if you don't have any money?
Correct.
That's
correct.
That's really messed up.
It is.
Yeah,
that is.
So, and it's
Wow.
not even like, so we're the Crime Victims Center, and so our services are working with victims of sexual violence and violent crimes. Those violent crimes are homicides, burglaries, DUI crashes, thefts, assaults, the whole gamut. Domestic Violence Services of Southwestern PA is a partner agency. They only work with domestic violence victims. However, they receive the same funding. So they are going to be in the same situation that we are. But it would be them having to make decisions on how they would be able to remain open working for domestic violence victims. And that includes our shelter. So, they operate a 24-hour shelter in Fayette and Washington County. So, it's not even just our organization. It's other organizations like ours that are helping people that are being affected by this government shutdown. And, the schools are being impacted. I mean, there's so many people. I'm sure you'd have a line out the door of people be like, I want to be on and talk about our services and how it's being affected. And I think that's where the realization is that the powers that be, the government, our officials, really need to take into consideration that the people that are being impacted by the non-agreement of coming together to pass a budget. And it's very disappointing. My staff alone have taken time out of their days to call all of our legislators on a daily basis. What news have you heard? What's going on? What can we do? And we keep you get all different answers. You don't even get the same answer. Yep. And so it's like, are they even on the same page?
Clearly not. That's why there's nothing being done.
No.
So it's like, and then we keep giving different dates. Oh, they're not going to be able to come back into session till October 29th. Then it got pushed to the 22nd. Now we're hearing October 6th. And
what happens with your rents, like your landlords?
Thank God, we have been reaching out. Our funders also told us to please reach out. They have given us a letter so that it's official, saying that we are not receiving funding, and we're able to provide that letter to any of our creditors, our landlord, in hopes that they'll work with us. Now, we have a wonderful landlord that he has been with us for many, many years, and this is not his first go-round with us with this funding issue. So he is really willing and able to work with us to the best of his ability. He obviously has to pay bills himself, and we're just one piece of his puzzle. And so he is wanting to work with us. We're not sure right now what level he is going to be able to work with us. And we do appreciate any of our creditors. However, we have not really had too much success with anybody else, but again, it's the economy. Everybody needs their money. So it's not just, hey, we can try to help you. It's, hey, we have our own bills. We have our own lives. We've got our own things that we have to sustain.
And crime isn't going to stop just because your money's run out.
No.
It's just awful. And this is how this stuff affects people. And I don't know if, not to say the lawmakers don't care or anything, but I don't know if they see how it's really affecting people and organizations.
Yeah. Well, and the thing about crime victims is at any moment in time, you can become a victim, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just reality. And then to be a victim and to know that there are agencies working to be there and support you and advocate for you, it's a blessing. And so...
And like you said, crime isn't going to stop because there's no state budget or there's no money.
No. And I think, in all honesty, I think if it affects a lot more people, and even with the economy, we have seen, so like from 23 fiscal year, because we go by fiscal years, so July through June. So our fiscal year from 23 to 24 fiscal year, our cases increased 117%.
No way.
Oh my.
Yeah, 117%.
Wow. Is that one of the biggest increases you've seen?
To be honest, as director, it is. I can't speak for past years because I was never part of that equation to know that information. I just know that it seems to me, working 25 plus years, that we've never had a year where we're like, oh, wow, crime has really went down. Yeah. It's always been like, gee, here we go.
What percentage did you say?
117%.
That's
has went
crazy.
up. And that was doing work with the same amount of staff that we have. So that means more time staff is involved. But that, not even just us, but I mean, that's talking about our law enforcement. That's talking about our prosecutors. It's
the court system.
It's the whole court system is being burdened. And like you said, I think, in all honesty, the way the economy and everything is going, I mean, and I would hate to say this, I would not want to predict this as a thing, but
there's a trend,
right? That it's just like I honestly think that people are they're desperate.
Yeah.
You know, us having such a high rate of the drugs in our system, in our county, really is causing a lot of crime, but it's also causing a lot of other issues out there. People are becoming addicted. They need services, or overdoses. I mean, it just keeps snowballing.
I agree. They don't know, like you said, they don't know where else to turn or what to do or who to ask for help.
Yeah, and if you have agencies that are grant funded dependent and you can't operate, then there's nowhere for people to go.
No.
And again, it just sort of the whole ripple effect that you just keep adding and adding. And, you know, you hate, when I write grants for things, they always want statistics. They want demographics. They want all this information about Fayette County. And one grant that we wrote, they had a reviewer message us back and say that you didn't really have anything positive to say about Fayette County. It was all your demographics were, you know, the high crime rate, high unemployment rate, high, you know, the cost of living. I mean, everything was just not good, other than, you know, some of our natural beauties that we have in the community that we talk about. But it wasn't good. You know, our youth leave. As soon as they have an opportunity, they leave Fayette County. So our population is declining, which results in funding cuts because some of our funding is based on population. So it's a cycle that you know, I don't know how to fix, you know, other than
and as you said, there's not many. I mean, there's not many options for you to.
What can the community do to support you?
Well, a couple different things. One of the things that we really, really would love is anybody and everyone to please reach out to our legislators. That is Representative Charity Grimm-Krupa, Representative Ryan Warner, Senator Pat Stefano, and so that's on our state budget level. Then, you know, our U.S. senators, you know, we have John Fetterman and Dave McCormick. We have also been reaching out to them as well because that's the October 1st deadline. So we've been trying to reach out to them. Now, their offices have basically told us there is no way there's going to be a federal shutdown. That's all we've been getting consistently the last week and then all of this week so far, is that there is no way. There is 20 items that they have to agree upon, and there's no way they're going to be able to get these 20 items resolved by October 1st because they're not even coming back into session until Monday. So they're not even in session, and they're not going to come back in until Monday, and then they have to be able to get all these 20 things, and I've got to learn myself a lot of these governmental procedures, but these 20 things that they have to agree upon, they said there's no way they'd have it done by October 1st. So they're saying there's going to be a shutdown. I hope and pray not, but I have to look at it and be prepared and start thinking, what do I do moving forward?
That's what I said yesterday. These people should be there 24/7 until they get something done. They shouldn't be not there. It's just, it's inexcusable. It really is.
TJ, let's take a quick break, and we're going to come back because time is flying right now.
Is.
And I want Andrea to be able to give a quick rundown of all of what you guys do at Crime Victims, Andrea.
And we'll be back with that here on Hot Topics.
Ready to score big on your next home? Well, great news. Huge savings are waiting for you at Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon. From open floor plans perfect for game day parties to energy-efficient homes that will help you save money all season long, these homes are built to deliver. Don't wait on the sidelines. Make the winning play today and find the home that fits your family and lifestyle. Visit Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon at 4500 Route 51.
Red Rooster Dumpster and Hauling are the ones to call when you need a dumpster. Red Rooster offers fast, friendly service and provides medium-sized dumpsters that will fit your needs, whether it's a general remodeling project, emptying a house, or doing a summer or fall cleanout. Just call Red Rooster Dumpster and Hauling at 724-569-0337 for rates and availability. Red Rooster Dumpster and Hauling in Smithfield also offers a 5% military discount. Call 724-569-0337 and look for the Red Rooster.
Businesses come in all shapes and sizes. Integrity doesn't. For more than a century, the Better Business Bureau has set the standards for how businesses should operate honestly and ethically. So when you're looking for a business you can trust, check to see who's BBB accredited and who isn't. Always choose the Better Business. Look for the BBB seal because it's looking out for you. That's why it's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
Feeling lucky? Your next big jackpot is waiting for you. Visit the casino at Nemacolin in Farmington, PA for the ultimate casino experience featuring the hottest table games, daily promotions, big-time giveaways, and an exciting variety of premium slots. And after, celebrate your big win with a juicy burger at the Royale while you watch the big game. Hotel packages available. Visit CasinoNemacolin.com for more information. The Casino at Nemacolin. Game on. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hi everyone, this is Kelly Clark with Autoland Hyundai in downtown Uniontown. SUV season is here, and you can get that new, certified, or select pre-owned all-wheel drive that you've been looking for. It's just a test drive away. Let me show you how simple you can buy or lease your next vehicle. The season is changing, so fall into your best deal with me. Kelly Clark, Autoland Hyundai, 724-208-5281. 724-208-5281. Great selections, super pricing, and deals on your next wheels. Kelly Clark, Autoland Hyundai, 724-208-5281. Kelly Clark, Autoland Hyundai, 724-208-5281. I'll make you a good deal.
Having Hicksonbaugh's Drugstore in Uniontown means reliability, quality, and service. Pharmacists Stephen Harper and Seth Miller fill your prescriptions, offer free prescription delivery, mail-out service, and gladly answer your healthcare questions. Flu shots, the new Moderna COVID boosters, plus Shingrix shots with your doctor's prescription are also available at Hicksonbaugh's. Call 724-437-2828. Hicksonbaugh's Drugstore, 304 Morgantown Street. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 6, Saturday till 3, closed Sunday.
WMBS.
All right, welcome back to Hot Topics here on this Friday with Kendall, and we have Andrea here. And we're talking about the state budget and how it's affecting people and the communities and everything.
And in particular, Andrea's here
Yes.
as the director of the Fayette County Crime Victim Center. We're coming to the end of the first half, but Andrea's going to stick around just for the call because we have State Rep Charity Grimm Krupa is going to call in on this matter. I had seen a message. She's a fan of the show, but she was listening and she had sent me a text, and I just saw it too late. Otherwise, we would have had her call in. But at the same time, we've been pretty much trying to cram everything in. So, Andrea, for the last few minutes of this first half, what does Crime Victims do? Like, what are all your services?
Sure. So we are a nonprofit. Our services are free and confidential to anyone in Fayette County that has been a victim of a violent crime. And so the services we provide is we have counseling, we have legal advocates, we have a prevention person, and we have volunteer services as well. So our legal advocates would be able to follow you through the whole criminal justice system, magistrates all the way up through criminal court. That's in the adult and the juvenile systems. They also are able to provide protection orders. So we have the sexual violence protection order and the protection from intimidation. So those are protection orders that anybody is eligible and can qualify for. Our counselors, obviously, we provide counseling services to all the age groups. So any of the victims that we see, we can provide counseling services for those. We also provide services to our Child Advocacy Center. Our Child Advocacy Center is also located in our plaza at Oliver Square, and they are part of the investigative process when a child has been abused, sexually or physically.
Okay.
So they start the process. They do the interviewing, the forensic interview, and then they can do a medical forensic on that child as well. We provide supportive services to the family during that process. Then our prevention services, we are able to go into all the schools in Fayette County, daycares, post-secondary schools. We provide programming to professional groups, religious groups, and it's on a variety of topics. So we can talk about bullying, your safe spaces, how to keep yourself safe from being a victim, identity theft, human trafficking. We do diversity training. We work with the senior population. We go into the high rises and help them with fraud. Because we are seeing such a huge increase in
fraud, scams,
scams to our senior population. So we go out into the high rises and try to educate our seniors on how to be safe and how to identify what is fraud and what is not. So she is her name's April. She's very active. She goes out into the community almost every day. She's out somewhere doing an outreach event or working with schools or programming, sort of just educate and help add prevention services to the community.
As you say, you guys do so much, and people probably don't even know that you do that much stuff.
Yeah, and it's all free. That's something else. Everybody will call and say, how much does it cost? And we're like, we do not charge our clients. That's why we receive our grant funding, and that's why when we don't have grant funding, we have to ask for donations in the community. We do fundraising into the community, and again, everyone's stretched. So when we do
everyone's pulling from the same pot.
Yep. And it's very competitive. So when you're out there trying to ask and beg for money, everybody's asking.
Yeah.
So we do the best that we can with what we have, and I have a very, very, very dedicated staff that truly believe in helping others and wanting to be there for people. So this has been a very hard journey for us, trying to navigate and try to make these difficult decisions.
So you need donations. Will you do some fundraising?
We have. We've been doing fundraising. We've got some others that we are currently working on. We're just trying to find locations and dates.
And time to plan these things. Because you're trying to figure out now how to provide services.
And how to stay open.
Stay open. And then it's
and it has to come out of the fundraising monies to pay them grants, and that is a challenge because we do have an active board, but we only have 8 members on our board. So if anybody is interested in becoming a board member or a volunteer and wants to help us, please reach out, because those are important to have volunteers. And we had a very healthy pool of volunteers, but when COVID came, we sort of lost a lot of our volunteers. So it's just people are now in a different place.
Again, people, so you can go, please share this show because this is important information to get out. And stick around because we're going to hear from our state rep, Charity Grimm Krupa, who's going to be calling in right as we start the second half, rather. And I'm sure she's going to have a lot to say. I know that...
Maybe some good news.
Maybe some good news, but if not the good news you're looking for, at least the good news is you do have people fighting for you,
Yes, definitely.
and you have people that are and praying for you.
Yes.
And so, again, you guys, you never know when you're going to be a victim, and you never know when you're going to need their services. It's a humbling thing to have experienced it myself. And again, I on a very low end, but still, I was in a situation where I was so I felt comforted by the advocate, and just knowing that there's people there, and it doesn't cost you anything. And that is just, it's a blessing. And like you said,
117% increase
in crime victims.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
In 1 year, right? 1 year. Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
It is.
So just real quick before you go for the break, just in July and August, 788 services.
Wow.
So
we'll see what State Representative
Yes.
Charity Grimm-Krupa has to say when she gives us a call. We're going to go to the break. TJ's going to do the news, and we will be back for hour number 2 of Hot Topics.
Yep, so stay with us here on this Friday. Chartiers Valley and Laurel Highlands and Martins Ferry of Ohio at Uniontown. Both of those games are coming up tonight here on WMBS Uniontown, and it is 2 o'clock.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Wendy Gillette. National Guard troops will be among a task force of
Force will include state troopers, U.S. Marshals, and unarmed National Guard troops.
We have a generation of crime in Memphis is about to be a story of the past.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Protesters blocked streets near Times Square in New York City as Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu addressed the United Nations General Assembly. Salam Alam was among them.
We reject that Netanyahu would be allowed to speak at the United Nations. We reject the United States' 6th ceasefire when the entire world condemns that.
Netanyahu encountered more protests at the UN.
As Benjamin Netanyahu walked up to the podium, dozens of UN delegations walked out.
Please, order in the hall.
To mingle jeers and cheers. He lashed out at the Western nations who've moved to recognize a Palestinian state.
We will not commit national suicide because you don't have the guts to face down a hostile media and anti-Semitic mobs demanding Israel's blood.
Netanyahu denied Israel is committing genocide in Gaza and insisted its offensive there will continue until, his words, the job is done. Vicki Barker, CBS News.
Former FBI Director James Comey says he's innocent after his indictment that alleges he made a false statement to Congress. CBS's Margaret Brennan.
Comey says he has faith in the justice system in terms of how this would play out. In other words, an indictment is not a conviction, and he seems to be very confident that that won't happen.
The White House announced new import taxes, including 100% on pharmaceuticals. Money Watch correspondent Kelly O'Grady.
We get over $230 billion worth of pharmaceutical drugs imported into the country. That was the figure from 2024. And the industry has warned, this tariff was telegraphed, if you will, that this could cause higher prices for Americans, maybe higher insurance costs, as well as maybe losing access to some of those drugs or less access.
Additional tariffs include 50% on kitchen cabinets and bathroom vanities, 30% on upholstered furniture, and 25% on heavy-duty trucks. On Wall Street right now, the markets are up. The Dow up 345 points. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Point Hill Living Care Home is an all-new personal care home conveniently located in Point Marion and is now accepting new residents. Point Hill Living is committed to providing comfort and support while allowing residents to maintain their independence and enhance their quality of life. With a dedicated staff and experienced advanced care team, Point Hill Living offers fully customized care plans for all residents, while also ensuring a sense of community and engagement, making Point Hill feel like home. Multiple care levels are available, from basic plans to fully customized and enhanced plans, including options for medical monitoring and full-time dedicated assistance. If you are looking for a high-quality care home close to home, look no further than Point Hill Living Care Home at 300 Union Street in Point Marion. Call them today at 724-725-5533 To learn more, or visit them at pointhillliving.com. Point Hill Living Care Home, where our residents are family.
Let's all go to the lobby. A new poll from the Associated Press Nork Center for Public Affairs Research says we're slightly more likely to head to the kitchen microwave for that popcorn than a movie theater lobby. The survey shows about 3/4 of U.S. adults say they watched a new movie on streaming instead of in the theater at least once in the past year. About 2/3 say they watched a movie in a theater. The shift accelerated during the coronavirus pandemic and has continued with convenience and cost as factors. Michael Toscano, CBS News.
A new survey finds Americans are increasingly booking trips after seeing celebrities' vacation spots. A survey from the train booking app Trainline finds 50% of Americans say they're inspired to book a trip because of a celeb's vacation, with London, Rome, and Paris as top destinations. Wendy Gillette, CBS News.
The award-winning local district and statewide news is being brought to you by NovaCare Rehabilitation, a leading provider of preventative and rehabilitative services to promote physical wellness for patients of all ages and abilities. In your neighborhood with new state-of-the-art facilities on 104 Delaware Avenue in Uniontown. Call 724-437-0556 for NovaCare. And now to the news. Good afternoon. It's 2:05. It is partly sunny and 71 outside of our Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law Studios. Injured, call today for your free consultation, 724-437-2799. Your local station, 590 AM, 101.1 FM, WMBS. I'm TJ DeStefano, sports and weather in just a bit. A Westmoreland County woman diagnosed with dementia is recovering from a dramatic ordeal. 83-year-old Clara Waters was reported missing from her Loyalhanna Township home on Wednesday. She was found Thursday morning on the bank of the Loyalhanna Lake. First responders say Waters showed effects of someone who had been outside all night near the lake but was conscious and alert, and that things could have turned out much worse. The Pennsylvania Game Commission is looking for the individuals who illegally dumped trash in a Westmoreland County wildlife area earlier this month. Officials say someone left construction debris on State Game Lands 42 in St. Clair Township on the evening of September 16th. Witnesses reported seeing a yellow Ford pickup truck in that area at the time. Anyone who has information on the incident can call the Game Commission's Southwest Region office or submit a tip through the Commission's webpage. The U.S. Postal Service is now accepting letter submissions for this year's Operation Santa campaign. The annual initiative connects kids and families in need with people who are willing to help fulfill their wishes for the holiday season. Letters from folks who have a request for Santa can be mailed in now through December 6th or submitted through the Operation Santa webpage. Those who would like to help can register to adopt letter writers beginning on November 3rd. President Trump has signed an executive order that will allow a Chinese company to sell TikTok to a group of American investors. Here's Monica Nelson with more.
Under the deal, the video app's U.S. operations will be run by a new company, while TikTok's current owner, China-based ByteDance, will hold under 20% of the stock. Congress voted last year to ban the video sharing app for national security reasons unless it sold its U.S. operations. I'm Monica Nelson.
WMBS time is 2:07. Sports and weather are next.
Did you know that you have a choice for your physical therapy provider? NovaCare Rehabilitation offers same-day appointments, and oftentimes you don't need a prescription from your doctor to see us. We will make sure that you are treated as an individual and will work directly one-on-one with you to help achieve your goals. You have tried the rest, now try the best. NovaCare, Delaware Avenue in Uniontown. Phone 724-437-0556 to schedule your appointment today.
In sports, C. Harper Auto Group High School Sports Night here on WMBS tonight. Shark Tears Valleys at Laurel Highlands. That's on the radio as well as video. And Martins Ferry of Ohio will visit Uniontown. That'll be video only. Our Sprouse Insurance Group pregame is at 6. Both games start at 7. And the Trib Live scoreboard show will follow. Pirates, they start their final series of the season. They'll visit the Atlanta Braves tonight. Mitch Keller will be on the mound for the Bucs, who are 69-9. 90. First pitch is at 7:15. Penguins, they host the Detroit Red Wings tonight at PPG Paints Arena in preseason hockey. Face-off will be at 7. College football tomorrow. Pitt, they'll host Louisville at Acrisure Stadium. We'll have that game at noon on WMBS. And the Steelers, they will take on the Minnesota Vikings in Ireland. Both of those teams are 2-1. Kickoff on Sunday morning will be at 9:30. Partly cloudy and 76 the rest of the afternoon. Cloudy and 60 tonight. It'll be cloudy tomorrow. We could see occasional showers, 74, and partly cloudy and 81 on Sunday. Right now, it's partly sunny and 71 outside of our Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law Studios at 2:09 on this Friday afternoon. I'm TJ DeStefano. Up next, we have Hour 2 of Hot Topics here with Kendall and TJ on WMBS. The award-winning local district and statewide news has been brought to you by NovaCare Rehabilitation, now offering telehealth and home-based care as well. Located on 104 Delaware Avenue in Uniontown, call 724-437-0556 for NovaCare.
Bright Stripe, Bay County's premier asphalt seal coating professionals, locally owned by Matt and Lexi George. Bright Stripe specializes in residential and commercial asphalt seal coating, also excelling in line striping and layouts, thermoplastic, and infrared asphalt repair. Bright Stripe has succeeded due to their commitment to quality work for 30 years. Bright Stripe, 724-437-6090 or visit bright-stripe.com. BRITE-stripe.com.
Hey all, it's Josh Krysak here again with Ron Romeo from Ultimate Structures. Ron, you're the expert. What advice would you offer someone looking to invest in a new shed or metal building?
First, the customer must validate if they meet local codes no matter what type of structure they are thinking about. Both of the manufacturers that I represent want to be sure the structure is permitted to be built or placed on a specific property.
Makes sense. When you're ready to take your storage building game to the next level, call Ultimate Structures at 724-415-0020. Ultimate Structures, just outside of Perryopolis. They design what you desire. Visit them today at their mega lot on Route 51 southbound in Perryopolis. That's Ultimate Structures, 724-415-0020.
Zen's Antiques and Home Decor, a part of the Cinder Shack family of vendors where you can find both antique and new furniture, collectibles, housewares, gift items, including jewelry and candles, and so much more. Follow Zen's Antiques and Home Decor on Facebook for new items and information on upcoming events. Zen's Antiques and Home Decor in Building 2 at 3391 National Pike in Farmington. Zen's Antiques and Home Decor.
Are you considering a project design and don't know where to start? K2 Engineering offers a wide range of professional civil, architectural, and municipal services to meet your individual project needs. Our versatility combined with our personalized approach is what sets us apart as a full-service engineering and consultation firm. To learn more about our services, please visit us on the web at www.k2engineering.net. K2 Engineering, where customer service is our priority. Are you interested in earning your degree online or finishing your degree? Take your career to the next level at Salem University. Salem University offers more than 50 online degrees and certificate programs. Learn how you can advance your career with degrees in nursing, business, education, criminal justice, and IT. Salem has 4-week classes starting once a month. Contact Salem University by dialing 844-462-9128, option 1, or visit salemu.edu to see if you are eligible for our partnerships offering tuition scholarships.
Bad hair day? Bad day at the office? Bad day behind the wheel? Hey, stuff happens, even to the best of us. At least your car insurance rate doesn't have to take a hit. Get Erie Rate Lock from Erie Insurance. Gives you a great rate that stays put until you change a car, driver, or your address. Plus, seriously good service. Now that's something to smile about.
Your Erie agent in Uniontown and Ross Traver Township is Sprowls Insurance Group, 724-437-9812, or go to sprowlsinsurance.com.
Erie Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage and is not available in all states.
Your local station, WMBS.
The views and opinions presented by the host, guests, or callers on this program do not necessarily represent the positions of WMBS Radio.
I want to know
And welcome back to Hot Topics with Kendall and TJ on this Friday, and we're brought to you by
Tire Man's Auto Garage, K2 Engineering, Coldwell Banker Law Ridge Realty, Chestnut Ridge Counseling, Hicks and Buzz Drugstore, Red Rooster Dumpster and Hauling, Gary's Auto Sales, and Bright Stripe Seal Coating and Line Striping. We are here with Andrea. On the first half, we got to meet Paw Paw Lady. So go to our WNBS Facebook page. We are live streaming. You can go back at the end of the show to see Paw Paw Lady. She brought us in some goodies. And after that, we've been talking to Andrea from the Fayette County Crime Victim Center about the concerns regarding the budget, the PA state budget, and potentially and probably the federal budget coming up here it was October 1st. Mm-hmm. Yes. And so during the show, State Rep Charity Groom Krupa had reached out, and she's listening to the show, and she obviously is in Harrisburg. Maybe not right now, but she fights for the good here in her district. So Charity's on the phone, and we're going to see what she has to say about this whole situation. Charity, are you there?
I am. Thank you so much for letting me call in.
Of course, thank you for calling. What are you thinking about this, or what do you know about this?
So first, I have to say that I'm really excited because when I'm driving around the district, I'm often tuned into WNBS, and a lot of times there's stuff that I want to comment on or chime in, but usually I'm running from one place to another and just can't do that. But today I was here working on some paperwork end of things, and I caught the first part of your show. I caught Andrea speaking at first, and then I got a little distracted. But yeah, I am very happy that Andrea is trying to bring public awareness to this, because I think oftentimes the average community member, we're all so busy, life is so complicated that they're not paying attention because it doesn't directly impact them. Mm-hmm. And it's easy, because I'm entrenched in it, it's easy to forget that the average person really doesn't know what we're doing in Harrisburg. But I can tell you that I am offended that the budget has not been passed yet. I talked to